So today's topic is the universe gives us what we need to get to what we want. So this topic idea came through last night when I was just reflecting on certain areas of my life where I'm not fully where I want to be yet, and thinking about how perfectly, divinely orchestrated it all is, because I was thinking about how the not having it is actually giving me what I need, so that when I do have it, I can relate to it from a place of just authenticity and alignment and groundedness and actually what I want. And so today we are going to be diving into just different areas of your life and how you could be getting what you need to then ultimately get what you want. So, as always, let's start with just a few grounding breaths. So, taking a deep breath in all the way into your body and slowly release. And again, breathing in and slowly release. And one more. And release. Taking any small organic movement. All right, I think I'm going to move you guys up here. I think I like this spot better. It's just a weird angle to record for the pod, but we'll make it work. Okay. So good morning to everyone who's joining. Do you guys like my new shirt? On Wednesdays, we wear pink. It's for the Trevor Project, donations for the LGBTQ community. And I saw it at Abercrombie when I was doing an exchange, and I was like, oh my God, I need this. And it's Wednesday, so I wore it. Okay, so this topic, I mean, where do I even begin? Okay, so let's start with different areas of life. So we're going to talk about like the main areas. So relationships, career, money, health. Let's start with those and then see where the wind blows. So let's start with relationships. So take a moment, and maybe if your journal out, just jot down, what do you desire in relationships, in a romantic partner, in friendships, in the relationship with yourself. Think about something that you may not have yet that you desire. So let's say you're single and you really want a partner. Let's say you have a partner and you really want more time with them. Think about anything that you desire. And then if you're here live, you can drop it in the chats, and let me know what comes up. And let's use the example of you are single and you want a partner. Okay. So when I was younger, pre doing this work, my vision was to get married and have kids ASAP. That's like all I wanted. I didn't know anything else that I wanted. All I wanted was a family. I wanted a partner. I wanted kids. I don't know why I wanted them. I just knew I wanted them. Turns out I wanted them for attachment reasons that I was unconscious of. Okay, so Allie says single and desiring a romantic partner. Perfect. Okay, we're on the same page because I started with that example. Perfect. Okay. So, and this goes hand in hand with my course Powerfully Single. This is what I talk about. When I was younger, I wanted a partner and kids. Now, I would go to our family astrologer and I would just keep asking him, well, when am I going to meet my person? When am I going to meet my person? When am I going to have kids? When am I going to have kids? I was so impatient, and that's all I wanted. So then I grow up and I do this healing work, and I realize that that was my anxious attachment. Now, does that mean I don't eventually want partnership? Of course not. I still want a partner. Does it mean that I have the same urgency around it? Absolutely not. So the urgency around it, the need, that was coming from my anxious attachment of not wanting to be alone. So think about it this way. The universe is our parent. God, the universe, whatever you want to say. God is the creator, universe is creation. So working together, here we are. So the universe is our parent. We have this end goal of I want partner, and we're over here and we're single. And God in the universe is the bridge, the rainbow between where we are here and where we want to land, over the bridge, over the rainbow. So I love my analogies. They crack me up. So you're over here and you're like, God, I really want a partner. What is up? Why am I still single? Whatever we make it mean. I'm 30 something. I'm old. All my friends are engaged. All my friends already have babies. Why am I the single one? So God then says, God then says, I am giving you what you need to get to what you want. Now, we have the expression that we don't get what we want, we get what we need, but I've been reframing that of we get what we need so we get to what we want. So why might you need to be single to get to what you want? And I want you to answer that. Write it down in your journal right now. Why might you actually need to be single to then have a partner? Now, the hint that I will give you is what kind of partnership do you actually desire? Now, the younger part of you that's coming from attachment wounding is going to say, well, I just want any partner so I don't have to be alone. That's not authenticity. That's your trauma. What does your authentic, highest, most powerful version of yourself desire in a partnership? So for me, I desire to have sovereignty in the relationship, which means interdependence, meaning I am not dependent on you and I'm not only dependent on me. We lean on each other for support, but we also know how to lean on ourselves. So it's not coming from an anxious attachment like I had been relating to my relationships my whole life. Now, if I'm telling God, I want a partnership that has a beautiful feeling and energy of overflow where I don't need you because I'm safe on my own. I know how to be alone. I love being alone. I'm not counting down the clocks anymore. I'm actually fully enjoying this single period because I feel powerfully single, hence the name of my course, rather than anxiously attached version of me single. So if I'm saying I want to feel that energy of overflow, I desire you. I'm so good on my own and you're so good on your own that we come together and we just share life together. Chef's kiss. If I say that I want that, but I'm over here an anxiously attached inner 2-year-old running my life, then God giving me a partnership wouldn't actually be getting what I want. God saying you need some time being single so you can tend to yourself and heal those attachment wounding so that when you do get the partner, you can relate how you want to relate. That is God giving us what we need to get to what we want. So let me know in the comments when you wrote in your journal what came up for you. What came up for you of what kind of partner you want, what kind of partnership that you want. Okay, so avoidant attachment. Perfect. All right. Let me use my most recent dating experience as an example. So I was dating someone who was highly avoidant, highly avoidant. So let's say he is saying, I want a partner, which he wasn't. He was saying quite the opposite. But you are an avoidantly attached person who wants a partner. And so you're saying, I desire. So what kind of partnership do you desire? Let's get into that. Literally, like, how do you want it to feel? How do you want this partnership to feel? What do you want it to feel like? What do you want it to be like? What kind of experience do you want to have with it? So maybe if you're avoidantly attached, you want to experience a relationship where you feel safe to get close to someone. Because as an avoidantly attached person, you're fucking terrified of intimacy, right? I mean, we all are fucking terrified of intimacy, regardless of the attachment style, but you feel safer to be with yourself, which is, again, nuance because you feel safer to not be in partnership than to be in partnership. I caveated that because we say that avoidants love to be with themselves, but they're still avoiding themselves, just like anxiously attached. The root is still avoidance of self, whether you're anxiously attached or you're avoidantly attached. It's the road, the method of how you avoid yourself. Do you avoid yourself by avoiding the mirror of a partner? That's avoidant. Or do you avoid yourself by running away from yourself and it clinging on to the person? And yes, maybe they're a mirror, but you then project onto that mirror because you don't want to look at yourself. So either way, it's an avoidance of self. So, okay, you want a partnership, you said, that has mutual support, effort, and respect. Beautiful. So you desire mutual support, and yet you're over here and you have this avoidant attachment, and it feels fucking terrifying to lean in to receive support and give support. And maybe one of those lands for you more than the other, depending on your wounding, right? So the guy that I was dating, he went through severe trauma while we were together. Shocker, because I'm a trauma healer. So, this is what I attract. But the difference is he did not want my support in healing it. He did not know how to receive support because avoidantly attached people in childhood, it's like emotions are swept under the rug. We don't even talk about any of it. You don't know how to receive support in that way, emotionally, in a vulnerable, intimate way, right? So you're saying, God, I want this mutual support, and I'm over here not even knowing how to receive that. And so then God is saying, well, I'm giving you this period of alone time so you can. Okay, sorry, my sister was calling. So you can start learning how to receive that support. Where are you not feeling safe to receive support? Where are you thinking, I need to do all this on my own? I need to heal this avoidant attachment on my own. I need to do everything on my own. I need to be Miss Independent. And you go to this extreme. And so God's like, well, how am I going to give you a partner that wants to support you when you don't even know how to receive that? That's not familiar to your nervous system. Your nervous system's going to reject that. Hyper independent, right? So we have to get to the root of the hyper independence. Where has it not felt safe for you in childhood to receive support of others? For me, it's the opposite of where in my childhood did it not feel safe to lean on myself because I was taught not to trust myself. I was taught to overly lean on others. So you see how the root is the same for both of us. And I'm historically anxiously attached, you're avoidantly attached. The root is the same. The root is not having that balance of feeling safe to rely on ourselves and rely on others. So for me, I was overly relying on others, where to this day, I have to catch myself when I want to outsource something and be like, oh, wait, no, I can trust myself to do this. Whereas you need to lean more into, where am I trying to do all of this alone because I don't feel safe to be seen by another human. And that's where relational healing comes in, is being able to be seen by another human, to be called out by another human, to have all parts of you be witnessed by another human. So we have to look at, if the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, is giving us what we need, which is this singlehood time. For me, the single chapter has been about being my own anchor of safety rather than anxiously attaching onto someone else for safety. For you, as an avoidantly attached person, your period of singlehood is to actually process and look at that historical wounding that doesn't make you feel safe to actually receive support. So whether that's doing this full work with me or starting in your day-to-day, where can you receive a compliment? Where can you ask someone for help? Where can you, instead of just being like, I'll do it myself and then feeling resentful that no one supports you, we've all been there, where can you actually reach out and intentionally ask for support? Maybe just emotionally. Maybe you call a safe nervous system and you're like, I'm just laughing, like we have on speed dial, safe nervous system, dial. We call a safe grounded nervous system and we say, hey, I'm feeling this way. Can I just be held in this, right? I don't need fixing. I don't need solutions. I just need space to be held. I need my emotions to be validated. not your perceptions, because perceptions are different than emotions, and our perceptions can't always be validated because they're not always accurate depending on the emotion, but that's a whole other thing. So again, what are the lessons of this time being single for you that you need to learn to be able to receive the partnership? What are you making it mean about you that you're single? And where can you lean into the support of others so that you feel safe to have that mirror to look at yourself? Now, another example would be, let's use money. Money's a big one for people. So if I say I want to grow a multi-million dollar business, because I do. That's one of my visions for my business is I want it to impact so many people in this world that it ends up being a multi-million dollar business. Okay. Now, if I'm not there yet, aww, my client just joined our membership. Okay, sorry. I guess my notifications were not on because my sister's calling and then my client's messaging me. Oh, he just joined the new Real Men Heal membership. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay. Look, okay, guys, are you serious? I literally was just talking about money and abundance, and I just received money during this live. Are you kidding me? This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Energy. Okay. Woo. I cannot. I cannot with the way that the universe works. It's fucking magical. Okay. That was unreal. So glad my notifications were not silenced because that was a fucking prime teaching example. Okay. So I'm saying I want this multi-million dollar business. I look at that's not happening now, right? I'm not a millionaire. I'm not making as much money as I want to make. Let me look at why. So apply this to your job, apply this money is not limited to your paycheck. Money is energy. Money can be attracted in multiple different locations. I can attract money through my business, through random checks in the mail, through other things, right? We don't need to know the how. We just need to know that money is energy and money can come in multiple different ways. So if I'm saying I want millions of dollars and then I'm here not having millions of dollars and I look at why might the universe be giving me a period of having financial lessons or financial hardship or wherever you are in your financial boat, not making as much as you want, in debt, like think about wherever you are financially. What might the universe be asking me to learn by giving me this, what I need to get to what I want? So I'll use myself as an example. I have always had, this goes hand in hand with attachment because our attachment style is how we relate to not only ourselves and humans and people around us, it's how we relate to money, it's how we relate to our health, it's how we relate, it's the blueprint for how we relate to every area of life. So with money, I have related to it from an anxiously attached perspective. This blows my clients' minds. They're like, I never knew that you could have anxious attachment with money. You have anxious attachment or avoidant attachment. Like literally look at how your avoidant attachment affects your relationship with money. Where are you avoiding money? So if I'm anxiously attached to money, meaning I avoid it when I don't feel safe around receiving it, or I grasp onto it, or for me, I've used it a lot for external saving. So little girl in me says, oh, I can't do this myself. I need help, right? Because I overly rely on other people. I then use money to get that help. Oh, I have to install this thing. Okay, I'm going to hire a TaskRabbit to install it. Oh, I want to lose 10 pounds. I'm going to hire this trainer to help me lose 10 pounds. Oh, I want to I'm working on my book right now and I have an editor. Oh, I'm gonna hire her for like 10 more sessions when maybe I really only need one, right? It's when I have money, I'm then using that for external saving. Or let's say shopping, for example. Now, this t-shirt was intentional, but there have been many times where my shopping has not been intentional. And I would use money to seek external saving in shopping. So let's say I'm feeling scared in my body. There's some fear coming up for whatever reason. Doesn't fucking matter. There's fear there. You go to the mall, you distract yourself from the fear because who's afraid if they're shopping, right? You don't feel like you're being run, you don't feel like you're being chased by a bear if you're at a mall, right? or if you're at a music festival, or if you're on Instagram, right? So whatever the thing is, like think about your thing. So for Allie, it's Instagram. For me, it's, yes, the phone. It used to be TV, shopping, food, like anything that you are escaping and using to avoid yourself, right? So if I'm using money that way, God is not going to then give me millions of dollars because that's going to help me avoid myself. So before God gives me millions of dollars, God needs to trust that I can trust myself to relate to money in a different way. And so it's all perfectly divine. It's all perfectly divinely orchestrated. So if I'm sitting over here in victim mode being like, wah, wah, my business has had a lull and I'm not making as much money, I want to be a millionaire, rather than that's little girl energy, rather than how is this happening for me? Oh, it's actually happening for me perfectly because I'm learning how to hold different amounts of money without self-sabotaging. I've shared with you guys very openly, I'm an open book around my business. There was the first time that I ever had overflow where I wasn't in debt. I had overflow. I self-sabotaged because I didn't know how to hold that much money. My nervous system was like, what is this? I'm used to getting paid pennies. I'm used to being in debt. The nervous system loves familiarity. So when it does something that's not familiar, you're like, huh, I don't know how to hold this money. And so I self-sabotaged. I spent it on external saving. Oh, if I hire this person, they're going to make me a millionaire. If I hire this person, it was all ego driven. It was all ungrounded. It was all lacking self trust and confidence, right? So I lose that money. I then have another a year later, I have another batch of overflow. This time I still have some debt and then I still have some, so it's not technically, well, technically it is overflow. It is overflow. I'm just choosing not to pay off the debt right away. There's more details to that, but technically I'm still in overflow right now. I have more than enough, meaning I could pay off my debt and still have some left over. Now, the reason why I'm choosing to do things differently is because in the past, I would get in the same cycle with money where I would immediately receive money. I wouldn't feel safe to hold it, and I would need to pay off the debt immediately. And that attracted more debt because the debt, think about like, oh, guys, I'm blowing my own mind. Think about it this way. If I always have debt to pay off, that means I never actually have to hold the money. And now, if I don't have to hold the money, I don't have to feel the responsibility of trusting myself to hold money. So that keeps me energetically a match to debt because, oh God, like fucking just yes, like yes to all this. If I'm attracting more and more debt, then I know all the money I receive, I just whoop, I don't have to hold it. I just get to put it in debt. But what would happen if I hold that debt and I hold that overflow, which is what I'm doing right now because I'm rewiring. I have overflow right now. I'm choosing to intentionally not pay off all my debt, and I'm just holding both because I'm showing my nervous system there's no urgency to pay off debt. Debt is just, as Amanda Frances says, a choice to pay off something later. It's an intentional choice, sometimes non intentional. And overflow is your ability to just hold that money. So, how would I expect the universe to give me millions of dollars if I am just now learning how to feel safe to hold some debt and some overflow? I need to show my nervous system a new way of safety around money where I don't use it for external saving, where technically in this moment, I have enough money where I could go, hire a trainer to get me abs. I could, sign up for like 10 more sessions with my book coach, but I'm choosing differently. I'm choosing to hold the money, to show my nervous system that I'm safe to be with it. Because if I can trust myself in managing, I also did a lot of work around learning how to manage. I was very resistant to budgeting. I thought budgeting was icky. I thought it was like restrictive and through scarcity. No, it literally just meant that I know what my bills are every month. I know what money is coming in and I know what money is going out. That's pretty standard. I was so resistant to that. I was like, no, if I have millions of dollars, I don't need a budget because I'll just always have more than enough. It was very like fantasy like. It wasn't rooted in reality. Like in this present moment. And I don't say reality as like a scarcity thing. I say reality as this present moment. So if I eventually want to get to the point where I've so many millions of dollars where, yeah, I don't need to look at an Excel sheet and budget and all the things, but that doesn't mean that I'm not going to want to manage my money. I'm going to still want to know how much money do I have? How much money is going out? How much money is going? I'm still going to want to have a relationship with my money rather than being avoidant. So I'm both avoidant and anxious with my money. I can grasp onto it and think this is the only dollar that's going to come in, but I can also avoid it of like, I'm not looking at my bank account because that brings up fear. Now I've related differently to it from secure attachment where I'm holding it, I'm looking at it, I'm managing it, and I'm building self-trust around it. So the universe is giving me what I need, which is a dip financially in my business so that I can learn how to hold what I do have before receiving all that I desire to have. So are you guys getting this? Are you feeling this? Are you seeing how the universe always gives us what we need to get to what you want? You may say, I want a partnership. I want millions of dollars. But what you actually want are not those things. It's what comes with those things. It's the feeling of being supported. Well, you can feel supported right now in this present moment. You don't actually need a partner for that. And that fucking sets you free because when you actually show yourself that you can receive support in this present moment, then you're detaching the need from it. And when you detach from the need from it, you then attract it from a place of overflow. And that is actually what you want. You don't actually want to be dependent on someone for support. I don't actually want to be dependent on having millions of dollars to feel how I want to feel. Why do I want $1 million? I want to impact people and I want freedom. Okay, in this present moment, am I impacting you right now? I think so. There's 3 of you right here that are being impacted live, right? We got Allie, Isabel, Dragon, Laser, Alex. 3 people right now that I'm impacting. I'm not a millionaire, yet I'm impacting you. Freedom. It's fucking 11:30 on a Wednesday and I'm on Instagram talking to you guys about freedom. Sounds freedom to me, right? So that doesn't negate your desire for a partner. It doesn't take away from my desire for millions of dollars. It means that when I receive those millions of dollars, it's a mirror of what I already have. It's freedom, but just on a larger level. It's impact, but just on a larger level. So instead of 3 of you being here, there will be 300 of you here, right? You receiving support today, like Allie, I want you to practice today receiving support. What you actually want in a partner of that support you're receiving today. So when that partner comes, you're attracting that based on what you already have in the present. If I'm not appreciating the dollars in my bank account and I'm like more, 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 then nothing is going to feel like enough. Whereas if I'm in deep gratitude for what I do have, the money that is in my account right now, I'm then going to be a like attracts like. I'm then going to be using the law of attraction to attract more of that because I'm already in the energetic match for it. So this is a difference between attracting things or desiring things from a place of little child energy of need and your attachment wounding and your trauma, which again is not actually going to heal your trauma, it's just going to perpetuate it, versus attracting things based on overflow of what you actually desire. I actually desire to be able to trust myself with money. And so if I desire to trust myself with money, this is the path for that. If you desire to be able to feel safe in an intimate, vulnerable relationship without your avoidant attachment getting in the way of that, then this time of tending to that avoidant attachment and feeling safe to receive and not having to be miss hyper independent, which is a trauma response, that is literally getting you to what you want, which is to not feel like you need to be miss hyper independent. So again, we have to get to the root. The surface level says, I want a partner. I want millions of dollars. I want great health. What is the root of all of those things? Oh, I want to feel like I can trust myself. I want to feel safe to receive support. I want to feel healthy in my body. I want to feel energized. And looking at where you are attaching on to, I'll be happy, or I'll be fit, or I'll be wealthy, or I'll be healthy when this thing happens, because that's outsourcing your power in the present moment rather than coming back to the present moment and realizing you are getting everything that you need and actually getting what you want. I'm going to give you guys one more example and then we're going to hop off. I have always wanted to feel fully sovereign, like safe in my body, not anxiously attached because I've been feeling that way my whole life. So what does the universe do? Fucking puts me through a dark night of the soul where I lost person after person after person after person. Literally all my people, like 90% of them shed. And I was left feeling more alone than I've ever felt in my life. Now, why was this divinely orchestrated? Because if I'm telling the universe I desire to feel safe in my own being without needing to grasp onto another person for safety, the universe is going to say, okay, bitch, you ready? Sheds all of the main attachment figures so that I'm literally left with myself so that I have no choice but to learn how to be my own anchor of safety. And now, 6 months later, I'm on the other side of that. Is there still fear? Yes. Is there still moments of feeling fucking terrified and alone? Yes. Do I feel more connected to my authentic self and more safe in my body than I've ever felt in my entire life? Yes. The universe gave me exactly what I needed to get to what I wanted. Did it mean it was fucking terrifying? Yes. Did it mean it was painful? Yes. Did it mean I was lost and confused and like, why the fuck is this happening? Yes. Can I now see it was all happening for me? And did I trust that every step of the way, no matter how hard and scary it got? Yes. So you have to connect to what do you actually want? And if you say, I want a partner right now in this moment, that's not actually accurate. That's not actually accurate. That is actually you lying to yourself because you don't want a partner in this moment. Because what would happen if you got a partner in this moment when you're not ready for a partner in this moment? You would then be relating to that partner through avoidant attachment or anxious attachment or disorganized attachment. And then you would probably self-sabotage the relationship and not receive support. And that's not actually what you want. If I got $1 million in this moment and I say that's what I want, that's a lie to myself. I don't actually want that because what is that going to do? That's going to enable me to avoid myself. I don't want to avoid myself anymore. The universe has perfect divine timing and gives us exactly what we need and gives us what we want when it will actually be what we want, not what we think we want on the surface level. Can I get an amen? Guys, I love this episode so much. Let me know how this landed for you. Your homework is to look at what do you actually want, not what your terrified inner child wants for temporary relief in the moment. And how can you give that to yourself in this present moment? Take your power back. And if you're looking for deeper support, I have so many ways of doing this work right now, like a lot, and I'm about to announce something else. So we have many ways. And I can't announce a thing yet because I'm still simmering. It's still simmering. But in the meantime, I have my membership where you can get live Q&A from me. We go much more in depth in the trainings than we do on the podcast or lives. You get personalized trainings, you get personalized Q&A, you get a community to hold you accountable and support. So talk about receiving support. This is a way that you can receive support every single day. So the membership is a very cost-effective, beautiful way to be seen in community, to not avoid yourself, to have a bunch of mirrors that are going to mirror back all parts of you, not just me, but everyone else in there. And we're going to hold you. And then I just added a monthly live component where we have a live Zoom call because the trainings are on a Facebook. So Facebook training. So it's not like fully as intimate. But then I just added a new component where you get one monthly live Zoom call with me where you can ask me anything. You can get some hot seat coaching and just connect. You can connect with everyone. So it's a beautiful place to be if you are ready for that next level of support. And then, of course, my one-on-one is my highest level container. And then I will be sharing some other in-between ways. So we have the lowest cost, the highest cost, and then I will be announcing that middle offer pretty soon. So DM me if you are interested in learning about any of those. And in the meantime, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for joining. I love you all so much. Mwah. Take time to come home to yourselves, and I will see you on the next live. Mwah, mwah, mwah.